Hi and welcome everyone to another video on my channel. My name is Denis and today I'm going to show you my latest draft for Game Week 1. Now if you enjoy my content, leave a like, hit that subscribe button, but now let's get into it. Okay, so as you can see from the screen, this is how my defense is currently looking like for Game Week 1 of Fantasy Premier League. Now I just feel like I need to repeat maybe myself a little bit. We're all just experimenting at the moment in FPL, trying to pick different players to see how we feel about them, and obviously this team is going to change a lot until the deadline. For an example, last week Guardiola was in my team, now you're going to see Virgil van Dijk, but that's really good, and at the moment this is where I'm standing. As you can see, let's talk a little bit about the goalkeepers. I have Sanchez, Kinski, last week I had Kelleher, but now I really think that it could be worth it to pay that extra 0.5 millions for Sanchez. The fixtures are great for Chelsea to start the season with. We know that Chelsea are a good defense, so overall I really want to have some coverage from that Chelsea's defense, and at the moment I don't have any outfield defenders from Chelsea, so I'm going to go for Sanchez. The first game week, obviously it's nice, Crystal Palace at home. If we move to my outfield players, we have the Kuiper, Van Dijk, Nico Williams, Konsa and whoever from Wolverhampton. Now let's start with the Kuiper. Everybody knows he's a really attacking defender. Now we need to see how nailed he's going to be for Brighton. At the moment it's looking like he's going to be a starter because Estupinian is out of the picture, so probably he's going to be nailed. The fixtures are decent to start the season with. The first game is against Fulham at home, and what I really think about the Kuiper, obviously at the moment everybody is going crazy about the defensive contributions, defenders, and for good reasons. Obviously I don't want to say that it is a bad thing. It is a good thing to be informed about all that, don't get me wrong. I really think that you should try to find the best possible defender for your team, but for me personally, I just don't want to miss out on a really attacking defender like the Kuiper. For an example, let's give it Munoz. In the last part of the season, he was amazing. He scored a lot of goals, he got a lot of assists. Now, again, that doesn't mean that the Kuiper is going to be as offensive as someone like Munoz, but who really cares about defensive contributions when you have in your team a player who's a defender who's scoring a lot of goals? So again, it is not that easy, obviously, but I still think that we should look for players who have the better chance of getting a clean sheet. The attacking fullbacks, obviously I still think that they are going to play a part in our game, so I think that we should have a mix of all these things, not just pick players like Tarkovsky, Braithwaite, Murillo, Milenkovic just because they are going to get a lot of defensive contributions. So yeah, hopefully you got my idea there. That's why I think that the Kuiper could be a really nice gem at that price, 4.5 millions. Again, we need to see how he's going to perform in preseason, if he's going to be nailed, because otherwise we have this discussion for nothing. Again, we go for Van Dijk, who's going to play against Bournemouth at home. With Van Dijk, I don't really need to explain too much. Last week I had Guardiola, now I feel more safe with someone like Van Dijk. He's playing for Liverpool, a good defensive side. They are going to get a lot of clean sheets. You know that he's going to play 90 minutes every game week. He's the captain of the team. He's going to be good for bonus points. He's going to be decent for defensive contributions, and he also has goal threat, and maybe he's going to take some free kicks here and there, who knows. But yeah, I really like him. At the moment he's locked into my team. Another addition to my team is Nico Williams, and although I'm expecting to see a drop for Nottingham Forest this season, I'm not sure if the drop is going to be attacking wise or defensive wise. I think that overall they are not going to be as good as they were last season, and probably that's going to happen, right? But Nico Williams in particular, he's just 5 millions. I think that at that price he could be a nice option. I'm not decided yet if I want to go with a defender at that price or maybe just go for a 4.5 million defender and save some cash, but the fixtures are decent for Nottingham Forest to start the season with. Probably they are going to get some clean sheets. With Nico Williams, obviously you have some attacking threat, and the chance of a clean sheet, and maybe he's going to be decent for defensive contributions because he's also getting a lot of interceptions also. Now if we look at the bench, ignore Adingra there. Kinski is just a 4 million goalkeeper. We need to see if he's going to be nailed or something like that. If not, I'm just going to pick a 4 million goalkeeper from Leeds or something like that. With Konsa, again, I understand it is a really boring pick, to be honest with you. He doesn't have a lot of attacking threat. He's not going to be amazing for defensive contributions like someone like Tarkovsky or something like that, but he's a really reliable player, and the fixtures for Aston Villa are really good to start the season. So that's why you're going to see some players from Aston Villa in this team. And however, he's a 4 million defender playing for Wolverhampton. He's going to play against Man City at home. So the fixtures early on are not amazing for them. But what I really like about him is that he started the last 3 games in the preseason. So we need to see if he's going to keep that starting place for Wolverhampton. If he's going to be a starter for Wolverhampton, obviously probably he's going to be in a lot of teams, but at the moment the signs are good for him, and maybe he has also a little bit of attacking threat. But now let's move to the midfield. Moving forward, this is how my midfield is looking like at the moment. Adingra, Njae, Palmer, Rogers and Mohamed Salah. Now let's start with Mohamed Salah because I think that we have some topics to discuss here. I'm not really sure at the moment if I want to go for him, but to be honest, I saw a lot of people going without Haaland, without Mohamed Salah, so I think that it is doable, but at the moment, if I am honest to myself, I think that I'm going to go with him in game week 1, but obviously a lot of things could change depending on my chip strategy, because at the moment I'm not decided if I want to use my bench boost in game week 1 or not. If I'm going to go with that plan, with using my bench boost in game week 1, probably a good idea would be to go without Mohamed Salah, because you can just wildcard him in game week 4 or something like that if you want to use an early wildcard, obviously. So again, and also the fixtures for Liverpool are not amazing in the first 3: Bournemouth, Newcastle and Arsenal, if I remember correctly. Now again, why Mohamed Salah is at the moment in my draft? I think that he's a better pick than Haaland. I just think that Haaland is a little bit too expensive at the moment. Obviously the fixtures are better for Manchester City. Haaland is on penalties, probably he's going to be better, probably Man City are going to be a better team than they were last season. But Mohamed Salah, a lot of people at the moment are talking like he's not going to do anything this season, and I just don't think that's the case. He's still going to be on penalties, he's not going to be probably on set pieces, but Liverpool are going to be great. Now a lot of things still couldn't change. They bought in Wirtz, they bought in Ekitike, and probably they are going to buy also Alexander Isak. If that's going to happen, if Isak is going to go to Liverpool, that could change my thinking a little bit, because I think that the points could be shared a little bit with so many good attacking players. So again, I still think that Mohamed Salah is going to have an amazing season, but it's not that easy to decide. So I still have that question to answer myself, to go or not to go with Mohamed Salah, but at the moment he's in my team, and a big factor into that is going to be the captaincy, because for an example, if Mohamed Salah is going to score 20 points, for an example, he's going to score 2 goals and 1 assist against Bournemouth in game week 1, I really want to have him in my team and I want him to be my captain. So again, obviously if you're going without Salah, without Haaland, you're going to need to captain another player. And although that could be a decent strategy and could work out, if you're afraid to do that, just go with one of them and keep it simple for your sake. But again, if you go without Mohamed Salah or Haaland, you're going to need to captain someone like Palmer, maybe someone like Watkins. So the captaincy is having a big impact on my mind at the moment. I really want to have that choice. It doesn't mean that I'm going to captain Mohamed Salah every game week. If Palmer or someone like that is going to play against Sunderland, I'm just going to captain him. But also the ownership is going to pay a big price in this. A lot of people are going to have Salah, and if you're going without him, obviously it is a big risk you're going to take if you go without Mohamed Salah. But again, if you want to go safe, he is the safe option. If not, again, if you want a bench boost or something like that, we need to discuss, and I'm not decided yet. Probably I'm going to lean towards bench boost game week 1. A new 4.5 million forward just appeared at the moment. Mark Guyu just signed for Sunderland, so we need to consider all those things. But at the moment, let's talk a little bit about the other players into my midfield. Jay, Palmer, 2 players who are on penalties. Jay is not an amazing pick or something like that. The fixtures for Everton are decent. In the start of the season, they are going to play against Leeds away, so that's great for game week 1. After that, why I have Adingra is because I can rotate them for different fixtures, obviously. So he's on my bench at the moment. Adingra at 5.5 million. So I think that he's going to be great value. Obviously, he plays for Sunderland and all those things, but him in particular, I think that he could be great value at that price. And Jaya, 6.5 millions he is. He's on penalties, as I said before. He's not having the best underlying stats as someone like, I don't know, Palmer, Mohamed Salah, obviously, or someone like Eze, Sar, but he is reliable. He probably is going to get good minutes. We need to see what Everton are going to do in the transfer market till the end, but at the moment he's in my team. He's going to be a really popular pick for game week 1. Palmer is going to have good fixtures. As I said, for Sanchez, I really want to have some attacking players from Chelsea and also some defensive players. But again, he's on penalties. He's looking like he's getting back into his form, and everybody knows what Palmer can do on his day. So he's on penalties, on all set pieces, on corners. When Chelsea are scoring goals, you're expecting Palmer to be a part of that with an assist, with a goal, something like that. So I think that the fixtures are just great. Obviously, you could go without someone like Palmer. You could go for Bukayo Saka, but the fixtures are not amazing for Arsenal. They just signed Gyökeres, who could be also on penalties. So at the moment, Palmer is in my draft, and he was from the beginning, and probably he's going to be also in game week 1. If I don't decide I want other player, maybe someone like Wirtz, he could be also a great option. I wish I had him in my team, but let's see what we can do. My last midfielder is Rodgers from Aston Villa, and to be honest with you, I'm still not yet convinced he's going to be worth the price. He's 7 millions. He's going to play against Newcastle at home in game week 1, so not the best fixture or something like that, but the fixture in general in the start of the season for Aston Villa are amazing, and I really want to have some players from them. And with Rodgers, you know, he's going to play 90 minutes every game week. He's a fitness monster. We saw that last season. He's not the most explosive midfielder you want to have into your team, but usually when Aston Villa are scoring, either Rodgers or Watkins are involved. So his form in preseason, he just scored a lot of goals in the last 2 friendlies from Aston Villa, so he's playing amazingly at the moment. Now we need to see if he's going to stay at Aston Villa, because there is that possibility always that one of Rodgers or maybe Watkins are going to leave Aston Villa, so we need to see what's going to happen to him. But at the moment I think that he's a really safe and reliable pick for the start of the season. And then if he's not going to perform amazingly and maybe you want to buy another cheap midfielder or something like that who's scoring a lot of goals, then you can move on. But at the moment he's into my team. This is my midfield. Let's see the full team. Okay, so this is how my forward line is looking like at the moment, probably unchanged from my latest video, so sorry about that. At the end of this video I'm going to show you also how my team is going to look like for game week 1, 2 and 3. So we're going to see a little bit of planning, but at the moment Solanke, there is some doubt about him, so I'm not going to lie. If he's not going to be fit for game week 1, obviously he's not going to be in my team, but at the moment there is an injury doubt about him. He missed the last friendly from Spurs against Arsenal, but if he's going to play, if he's going to be fit for game week 1, probably he is going to be in my team. At the moment Son is looking like he can move out from Tottenham, so that means Solanke is going to be 100% on penalties. Now I think that he's a really reliable striker, maybe not the most explosive ones like many of us maybe want, but he's going to play close to 90 minutes every game week. He's going to be their striker. Spurs are going to be a better side in my opinion this season under Thomas Frank, so no, not too much to explain on this pick. Welbeck again on penalties. At the moment Brighton haven't signed any other strikers, so he's looking like he's also going to be really nailed. João Pedro is out of the picture. He's going to be also on penalties this season, so at 6.5 millions I really think that Welbeck is one of the best strikers at the moment you could have. And also Watkins, why I really want to have Watkins, because if I would go for a cheaper striker I could upgrade maybe a little bit my midfield to be better, but I really want to go for a 9 million striker, and that's going to be Watkins, because I just think that the fixtures, as I said before, for Aston Villa are going to be amazing. He's usually involved in all the goals, either with an assist or with a goal. Maybe he could be on penalties. Aston Villa are going to be without Asensio, so again, we need to see what's going to happen. Probably still Tielemans is going to be on penalties. But why do I need a 9 million striker? Maybe you're asking. Because as you may know, Gyökeres just signed for Arsenal. I don't think that is going to be an amazing pick right away. Also, they have Havertz. He is not playing a lot of minutes in the friendlies at the moment. Obviously, he just signed. I think that he's going to be an amazing pick at some point in the season, but I'm just not sure that I want to start with him. But in case that is going to be amazing, going from Watkins to Gyökeres is going to be really easy, because if I have there a 6 million striker, let's say someone like Igor Thiago for an example, it's going to be tough for me to move to Gyökeres. So That's also a reason why I really want to have Watkins into my team, but also the obvious reason is that he has good fixtures. I think that he's a great pick, and yeah, his form in preseason is amazing at the moment. But again, the same for him as for Rodgers. We need to see if Watkins is going to stay at Aston Villa. There are some rumors that he's going to go to Manchester United. We need to see what's going to happen. Then obviously he's not going to be the same pick, and we need to find other answers. But at the moment, this is my thought process. I need to see if I want to bench boost in game week 1, because that could change completely my strategy. Now that we have two sets of chips, I think that it is a good strategy to bench boost in game week 1, try to get it out of the way, the chip. Now that doesn't mean that if you're using your bench boost later on, maybe you want to prepare it, it's suddenly not going to be worth it. I'm not trying to say that, but now with these new rules, with the new two set of chips, you can just get it out of the way if you don't want to, and then you can just concentrate on having the first part of the season as good as you can. Now again, there are pros and cons and benefits to both strategies. Usually when you're preparing for a bench boost, maybe you want to take some hits, maybe you're forced to take some hits, and maybe you're just concentrating on trying to have that perfect bench. And the real truth is that probably you're never going to have the perfect bench to use your bench boost, because things in FPL that just doesn't work like that. In football, obviously, maybe you're going to have three defenders who are going to play against Sunderland from Manchester City, and they are going to concede, and then suddenly your bench boost is not going to be worth it. So again, maybe if you're going to use your bench boost later on, maybe you score more points than someone who's going to use their bench boost in game week 1, but that doesn't mean that the bench boost is worth it. For an example, if you're going to use your bench boost in game week 1, you can stack all those really expensive players on your bench. You can go without Mohamed Salah, without Haaland, so you're going to spread the funds on your bench, and then you can get it out of the way and plan to wildcard early, and then just concentrate on the season. So for an example, after that, you're going to wildcard with a 4 million defender, maybe a 4.5 million forward, and concentrate all your funds into the starting 11. So there are pros and cons either way, but now let's see how my team would look like in the first game weeks. Okay, so as I said before, I'm going to show you how my team will look like for the first game weeks of the season, and we're going to do that on the Fantasy Football Hub app. And I just want to show you how simple it is to use it. If you have your FPL screenshot from the Fantasy app, obviously you can just upload it here, and then you see your team here on the screen. Let's save it and click optimize. Now again, after the season starts, you're going to be able to upload your team with your FPL ID or your team name. But what is really nice about this app is that you can just play with it for free, and then if you like it, obviously you can buy a membership. And yeah, I'm just going to leave you my link in the description if you're enjoying it, and obviously if it really helps you. Now if you see my team here, this is how my team probably would look like for game week 1. Sanchez, Virgil, Van Dijk, Nico Williams, De Kuiper. So basically what you saw. Now again, my team is rated at 92% and is predicted to score 63 points. So yeah, maybe not the best draft you're going to see out there. But if we move to game week 1, let's see how this team will look like. So Sanchez against West Ham away, Virgil van Dijk, Nico Williams, De Kuiper with decent fixtures. Now here, I could play maybe someone like Konsa against Brentford away if I think that Liverpool are not going to keep a clean sheet or something like that, but probably I wouldn't do that. Now Adingra here could be an option instead of Njae, who's going to play against Brighton. So now you see why I try to pick two midfielders who I can rely on, because if Adingra, for an example, was a 4.5 million midfielder who was never going to play, then I will be forced to play Njae every game. So it's nice to have the possibility to choose. Welbeck, Watkins and Solanke against Manchester City away is not amazing, but again, here I could play someone like Njai if I want to, but Spurs usually do really great against Manchester City. And in game week 3, if we look that and click optimize, here is when Liverpool are going to play against Arsenal. So yeah, it's not amazing, but I could see a clean sheet there, and Mohamed Salah is Mohamed Salah. And after that, obviously you really want to have him against Burnley at home. Rodgers, Palmer, Njaya, the fixtures are decent. Welbeck is going to play against Man City at home, which is not amazing. Here I could play someone like Adingra, but other than that, the fixtures are okay. The Kuiper is going to be on the bench, and if we go to game week 4, for an example, obviously at this point I could use some transfers, right? So if I really don't want to play those players who are going to have horrible fixtures, I will just transfer other players, obviously. Now in game week 4 is looking decent. Van Dijk and Salah against Burnley, Sanchez against Brentford, Konsa the Kuiper, Nico Williams is going to play against Arsenal, so they rotate pretty decent. Now the Kuiper against Bournemouth away is not amazing because Bournemouth I could see them scoring. Adingra against Crystal Palace away or Njay against Aston Villa at home. Rodgers, Watkins, as you can see from this screen, they have pretty decent fixtures for the start of the season, so it's not going to be a problem to play them. Same goes for Palmer. And for Liverpool, although they're going to play against Newcastle and Arsenal, so that's not amazing. But I really need to decide if I really want to go with this strategy. At the moment, this is how my team is looking like, but Bench Boost 1 is really tempting me, to be honest, and maybe I'm going to do also a video about that. But again, thank you so much for watching this video so long. It really means a lot to me and I really appreciate it. If you enjoy my content, please consider leaving a like, hit that subscribe button if you're new around here, and I'm going to see you next time. Bye.
Bag pura lor, când mă întreabă oamenii de unde sunt le zic de va. Apoi îmi bag pura lor.